OCD comes in many types and severities. The type of OCD we experience essentially narrows down the topic that the brain compulsively obsesses over. In this video, we're going to take a look into homosexual and sexual orientation OCD, what obsessing over sexuality looks like, and how to get treatment for OCD. If you're new here, my name is Emily from Impulse Therapy, the online OCD treatment platform. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for weekly tips on OCD management and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever we post a new video. And with that, let's hop straight into the topic of this week's video, homosexual and sexual orientation OCD. So what defines homosexual and sexual orientation OCD? HOCD and sexual orientation OCD manifests as obsessions and compulsions centered around sexual orientation. People who suffer from this type of OCD often experience intense, vivid, and unwanted thoughts regarding their long-standing sexual orientation. They may fear an unwanted attraction so much that they seek out proof to reassure themselves that their fears aren't real. One very important note to mention is that sexual orientation OCD in no way defines a person's sexuality, and in fact, this type of OCD actually has very little to do with sexuality. It is simply the area of fixation that the obsessive-compulsive disorder has latched onto. Homosexual OCD talks specifically to straight people who experience an irrational fear that they are actually gay. Sexual orientation OCD is more general. It's when someone experiences the irrational fear that they are the sexuality that they aren't. Members of the LGBTQ+ community may experience sexual orientation OCD, fearing that they are in fact straight, or are only attracted to one gender in the case of bisexuals, polysexuals, and pansexual people. This can cause major imposter syndrome, making us feel like we don't belong in a community that we may find comfort in. It's worth taking a moment to acknowledge that HOCD and sexual orientation OCD is not about homophobia. Straight sufferers may experience feelings of guilt and shame as a result of their intrusive thoughts, but this doesn't mean that they are homophobic. It can simply mean that they fear that they don't know who they truly are or that they are living a lie. Some examples of obsessions and irrational fears that sufferers may experience include fear of arousal from looking at someone of a gender they aren't attracted to, intrusive thoughts about dating or being intimate with a gender they aren't attracted to, fear of sending out signals of attraction to people of a gender they aren't attracted to. Examples of compulsions that may result include avoiding social events, refusing to date, refusing to say specific words like gay, straight, or queer. These compulsive behaviors provide short-lived momentary relief. This is unfortunately the nature of OCD. Anxiety around obsessions pop up frequently, resulting in the need for more compulsive behaviors to ease the anxiety. This is why once we identify OCD and get a diagnosis, treatment is so important to enable the sufferer to live their life in a happy, OCD-free way. So what does treatment look like for homosexual and sexual orientation OCD? Identifying HOCD and sexual orientation OCD can be really difficult because it seems to be an OCD type that carries with it a great deal of shame. Contamination OCD or relationship OCD are more commonly known, making it a little easier for the sufferer to openly discuss. OCD types like sexuality OCD, pedophilia OCD, or harm OCD add an additional layer of shame that often make discussions difficult and, for some, impossible to have. If you've been here for a while, you'll know that treatment for all types of OCD look pretty similar. Typically, homosexual and sexual orientation OCD can be treated with a course of cognitive behavioral therapy and exposure response prevention. Medication may also be offered as treatment for all kinds of OCD. However, medication should never be the only course of treatment we opt for. Studies have shown a 90% relapse rate in OCD patients who only take medication without any form of therapy treatment. As always, speak with your doctor before starting any course of medication. So that was our exploration into homosexual and sexual orientation OCD. It's impossible to hit on all the points of OCD in these short-form videos, so be sure to check out our resources in the description down below if you're looking for more information. Drop us a comment if you found this video informative, and be sure to hit that like button if you'd like to see more content like this. Until next time, from us at Impulse Therapy, stay safe and see you soon.